Welcome to the after party. I'm Miko Grimes.
I'm Jill Munroe.
And we kind of created this show because, like most women, after we watch our favorite shows, we end up going to our phones or our group chats and talking to our friends about our favorite scenes and just running them back all the tea and giving examples of how we can relate to the stories. And so I thought to myself, since we're quarantined and stuck in the house, why not do this as a family, right?
Definitely do it as a family. And listen, Miko and I met years ago on Twitter. You know, Miko is a very opinionated person. She was giving her opinion as a sports fan on the Dolphins. I had no clue that her husband actually played for the team, but I immediately wanted to interview her. So when she pitched this idea like, hey, maybe we should get together and talk about our favorite TV shows, I couldn't wait because there's no better energy than Miko Grimes energy. So I'm excited.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. We finally connected this New Year's Eve. I threw New Year's Eve onesie party.
We're live now. The block. Oh. Polly. Red. On the 20 sack.
Yeah.
I feel like we're now officially connected because we've talked business all these years, but we haven't really like partied together.
I went to your birthday party though at Hyde.
Oh, you did. You did come out that night. I forgot. I was waiting that night, girl. Oh, you did pull up to that. That didn't count because when you're in the club, you don't really get to know people like that. You don't really, you know what I'm saying? You have to already know them. But at my house, we had dinner. We played games, card games. We all got coronavirus together. Remember that shit?
Karaoke.
Yes, but I think we definitely coronavirus was spread in December. Me and all my friends were sick that week. You said you weren't sick.
I wasn't sick.
Every girl at that party was sick, and everybody was like, you know what? Something ain't right. I got a little cough, but I feel like I can't breathe, but I'm fine. And I was like, you know what? We all feel like that. Fuck it. Let's just bring the germs in. And you didn't even have it.
I thought maybe like the next day, I'm just like, oh, we just, it was a good time had. I just need to, relax and recover. But listen, everybody's fine now though.
Right. I think we had it. I really feel like I had it because I had the symptoms that they talk about. And I had it for like 3 days, I want to say. 3 whole days. And after that, even everybody was fine 3 days later. Everybody was just fine. Everybody that was sick said 3 days later, like, yeah, I'm good now. I don't know what the hell that was. And then we find out there's this fucking COVID-19 coronavirus. We're all quarantined right now, which makes this a perfect opportunity for us to do a show where we're all just sitting in the house doing nothing, even though Georgia is opening their shit back up right now, which is, I think a lot of states are going to start doing it too, which is tricky. But how have you been quarantining? Because there's 2 types of quarantiners, okay? There's the type that stay home, only go out for essential things. And then there's bitches that have lace fronts, nails, lashes, everything popping. So have you been taking care of yourself, or you've been really taking care of yourself and staying in the house?
Listen, I'm Shea Butter Baby in the house, like LL Cool J. No, I'm cool. We're going to work on our skin. We're going to work on our health care. I'm not going outside. I'm not risking it. And Georgia, stay your asses at home. Don't fall for the okie doke.
No. So what are some of the things you've been doing since you've been quarantined? Like, how have you just been getting through it?
Just, binge watching different TV shows, catching up on shows that I maybe wanted to watch and kind of missed through. Reading, journaling, trying to take the time. Like, nobody wants to have the whole entire world stop. But if the whole entire world is stopping, I'm trying to figure out how I can get better in this process and just when it opens back up, be better than I was before all of this went down.
Exactly. I'm about to be fine as fuck when we come out of this, bitch. I've been working out. I've been taking care of my skin. I'm getting all the vitamin D. I'm outside half butt naked every day. every day because I'm in Florida, so it's hot every day here. So I've been having
workout. Yeah, it's about to be a test because it's going to be like 80, 90 degrees here in LA the next 3 days. You know, people are going to be like,
yes,
shaking and ready to hit the streets. But
yes,
stay home, people.
Yes. So, I mean, this all kind of rolls into why we're doing this show. Everybody's at home. We already talk about every show that we love already with our friends, and now we'll just be doing it as a family. So we decided the first show that we wanted to cover was Insecure. Since Jill and I are both LA girls represent, what city are you from?
I mean, I'm LA County,
LA
Ladera
County.
Heights, you know, I'm LA baby, born and raised.
I'm Inglewood. Always here. I'm up to no good.
Right.
But on this show, I'm good. On my podcast, I'm up to no good. This is going to be a different side of me. I get to show people the non-sports tomboy side, the girly side of me. And I think we're going to have some fun. So you guys sit back, enjoy the show, and please let us know what you think about it.
Have you ever had a guy ask you to, you know, toss his salad or finger his butt or do any type of butt play? And how did you feel about it? Are you with it? Do you think that makes a guy gay? Like, I want to know it all. Let me hear it.
After party, Miko, after party, Jill, after party, the after party, it's the after party, Miko, after party, Jill, after party, it's the after party.
Welcome to the After Party. I'm Miko Grimes, ex-professional basketball player, also a football wife of Mr. Brent Grimes. I currently have a podcast. You can find it everywhere at iHeart Miko Podcast on all platforms.
I'm Jill Munroe, sports and culture analyst. You can check out my website, jacksonstilettojill.com, my interviews on YouTube, and I'm here to have a good time. Let's go.
Yes, and this session of the After Party is about the hit TV show Insecure. I'm pumped.
You know, it's written, produced, created by an LA native, Issa Rae, and she just gives her thoughts and opinions through the lens of a group of friends in Los Angeles coming of age.
Yes, and for those of you that aren't caught up, because we're in season 4 right now, but if you haven't caught up, Jill and I are going to catch you up with a quick catch up of what happened in seasons 1, 2, and 3. So Jill, catch us up on what happened in season 1.
So season 1 was our first introduction to Issa and her boyfriend Lawrence. They've been together for 5 years after graduating from college. Lawrence was rarely employed. Issa was holding it down in a job that she didn't really love. It was in the nonprofit space. We got y'all. They went through a couple of issues, you know, because when we first meet them, it's Issa's 29th birthday. And Lawrence, I guess because he's in a funk, just wants to chill. You know, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season as Issa is wondering if she's being appreciated, and she starts back creeping with her old college boyfriend. And we see those things possess. We see those things progress until finally they come to a head. Lawrence discovers Issa's been stepping out. He got a job at Best Buy. A little bank teller chick was, you know, sniffing around, got his attention. So because Issa had stepped out on him, he decided to, you know, get his thing going. And at the end of season 1, we're left wondering what's going to happen with their relationship. We also see Issa's friendship with her best girlfriend, Molly, who seems to have it all together, a lawyer. But as sometimes happens with friendships, they're going through their paces because Molly can be a little bit selfish and Issa's a little flaky, so they're working it out. And on to season 2.
Wow, that was dope. That was good. That was fucking excellent. I would watch that show, okay? I would watch that.
Love that show. We're watching it now.
Yes. Okay, so in season 2, we pick up with, you know, Lawrence breaking up with Issa because, of course, she cheated with Daniel. She decides that she wants to hop into her hoe phase, you know, before she hits 30. She want to get in these streets. And so she does. You know, she starts sampling all the flavors of all the guys that are out there, just getting her hoe off a lot. She's spending more time with her friends. This is when we really get to know Kelly and Tiffany. Kelly is her chubby but very fun-loving and beautiful, loudmouth, rude, say how she want to say as friend, who also is a little bit of a hoe, if we keep it real.
You know, Kelly is adventurous. Free spirited. We don't mind.
Let me not call her a hoe. That was rude. That was rude. She's free spirited, okay? And then we meet Tiffany. Well, we met her in season 1, but we find out Tiffany is what I would like to call a Whitley. You know, that light hair, even though Whitley's hair was dark, but it's always that little light haired, light eyed Black girl, Southern Belle-ish, bougie as fuck, but still a good time. You know, one of your homegirls, everybody has a Tiffany in their friendship. Everybody has a Kelly. And we should also have a Molly and an Issa in our friendship as well. And so I think that their friendship and the things that they go through and helping each other out while Issa's going through her whole phase and Molly's trying to accomplish the world with her career and doing all the changes. And so I think season 2 was kind of like letting us see Issa in a different stage, not a relationship. You know, she's finding out all the things that her friends are going through. She's now going through them with men and just struggling a little bit with it, just like she was in a relationship. And sometimes you always think like, damn, should I have stayed with him? Because these niggas ain't shit out here, you know? And so, you know, she just kind of starts using everybody for dick, which is, you know, that was a good time. I remember those days.
Listen.
Rude. That was rude. All right. So then season 3, she meets Nathan.
Yes.
Fine ass Nathan. Because she's driving, she quit her job in season 2, remember? And now she's driving Lyft and she meets Nathan in a Lyft. And, you know, they cultivate a relationship. You know, it seems like it's really organic the way that they got to know each other. And I feel like it was a different relationship for Issa because she had been with Lawrence for a long time. And then she'd also known Daniel before Lawrence. So this was almost like a new guy where you don't even have to like, they don't know who you are. They don't know your fuck ups. They don't know your issues, your baggage and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was great to see her in a relationship with somebody new that didn't really know her that well.
Just fresh, just getting off those new vibes and taking the time to get to know each other. There's no preconceived notions, like you said. But Nathan had some junk with him, like they all do. No, I'm just playing. Not you all. Just some.
Yes, they do.
A lot of some.
Yes.
But Nathan, you know, he started ghosting Issa. He was going through his own issues. He was from Houston. He disappeared. He had her questioning her self-esteem and her self-worth. When he stopped the communication, I think that we're going to see communication is a big thing, especially in your late 20s and 30s, in your friendships and in your relationships. So we got to see that pair out. We got to see Lawrence kind of develop his other relationships. I think, was it season 2 when he was dating the girl that he worked with, or was that season?
No, that's season 3. In season 2, he was being a hoe too. Remember, he had the threesome with the 2 white bitches that was snorting the coke, that paid for groceries. And he fucked off with the bank teller, Tasha. He did her dirty.
He did
her dirty.
She thought she was getting a real boo ready to be locked down, and he's like, I'm just getting out. I'm not ready for all this, meeting the family, going to family barbecues. I'm cool. Yeah.
And Lawrence also developed his career as well. He got a job at whatever that company is, designing those apps.
They design apps and something.
Yeah. So he's growing up, and now he's like, you know, the season ends with it being Issa's 30th birthday. And I was like, damn, we 3 seasons in. It's only been 1 fucking year. 1 year. And we're 3 seasons in, and it's her birthday. Lawrence is like the dream guy now. This nigga taking showers every day. Like, he's wearing fucking button-up shirts, shaved and shit. He's just well coiffed now. He got a little bag. He got a nice little apartment. He driving a fucking Jag. And I'm just like, bro, where were you while Issa was working and struggling? You was supposed to be this nigga. And now that he is, somebody else is reaping the benefits, which was the chick Apartheid. I don't remember her fucking name. She was annoying to me in
his coworker.
General. She was annoying to me. But he was like, you know, dating her, and it was Issa's birthday when they ended, and they ended well, you know, even though he did that whole shit to her, whatever. But they ended the season well with the Raisinets at the
Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon
that glow.
Drive-through. You got that glow. Sidebar, I nicknamed Aiden Bruce Leroy when I was pregnant, before I even knew it was a boy or anything.
Did you?
Yes, and I have pictures and footage, like all this stuff that I took pictures and video of me calling him Bruce Leroy since the time I found out I was pregnant. And don't he look like Bruce Leroy?
That's crazy.
Like,
Oh, shout out to Time Hawk. He's all beautiful still.
Yes. So they end season 3 like that in a good space. Molly was dating a couple of guys. She dated a guy that she thought was gay. Remember?
Yeah, that was season 1, right? The guy from the Enterprise place.
Yeah, well, she's saying he was gay because he had
an experience.
One time he got his dick sucked by a dude, and after he came, I guess he realized that wasn't for him, and he says he hasn't dated a guy anymore. So she went through, some baggage in those relationships. We saw Kelly and Tiffany have a rift because Tiffany let another girl host her baby shower, which was Condole, we find out, right?
Yeah.
And so we meet Condole, who when we roll into season 4, which is what we're going to do now, we find out a lot about Condole. All these stories start to unfold. So are you ready? I want you to give me the rewind of season 4, episode 1. How did it take place in your opinion?
So episode 1, it picked up right where we left off. So like you said, at Tiffany's baby shower, Lawrence and Condole crossed paths, met up, seemed to develop a friendship, whatever, may have exchanged numbers, and there was something involving. In the meantime, Issa and Condole became friends because Issa was looking for someone to help her put together a block party. So fast forward to the next season, Issa's in a much better space. She and the first opening words of the episode, though, opening words are, to be honest, I don't really fuck with Molly like that anymore. And you're like, dang, what?
Yes.
I mean, there were seeds of it, but we didn't know what to expect. So we rewind back 4 months and we see Self-Care Sunday with Issa and Molly. They're, doing yoga, puffing a couple of trees, and just basically reconnecting with each other and nature on a bad bitch quest to, improve their chi.
Right.
And we hear their conversation we find out Issa has a new bae, the TSA boo. We just kind of see where they're at catching up. Molly's still dealing with the repercussions from her actions from last season at her new job. So she's still trying to adjust. Issa and Condole are tightening up their friendship. Issa's looking for sponsors. They're planning a sponsor mixer. They meet at Tiffany's office to discuss the sponsor mixer, and Tiffany drops a bombshell. So we'll talk about that in our scenes of the week. From there, things become awkward because Condole and Lawrence have to, once she realizes that, oh my God, my new friend and my new boo are actually ex-boos, that's a lot to process on both parts. They both kind of decide, well, yeah, this friendship is working. We're going to work through this oddity. Condole talks to Lawrence about it. He's kind of unsure. I forgot to mention Issa and TSA Bay seem to be really evolving. He's bringing her gifts that he confiscated. He brought her some weed and some Hennessy.
The best gifts.
More than anybody else had been doing for her up to this point. She has her mixer. Her mixer is incredible. Meanwhile, Molly is she's developing feelings for Andrew. Andrew drops a bombshell. He's still dating other people. It fucks Molly's head up. And we kind of see her go through that process and be kind of selfish in that she's used to Issa just being there for her. And she's contending that Issa has some other things going on and a budding friendship. So that's pretty much episode 1.
Yeah, I would agree. That was it. That was what the hell I saw. So let's break down the scenes. I know that it was a great episode. There were so many incredible moments and things, but we can't talk about everything because we can't hold the people. So tell me, what was some of your favorite scenes? What was one of your favorite scenes of of episode 1?
Well, Self-Care Sunday, obviously, friends getting together, taking time out to disconnect from the world, catch up with each other, and pamper themselves. That's something that we're always all about. So I enjoyed seeing that. It was kind of nervous, though, knowing that, we might not be seeing this from Issa and Molly too much longer, but I appreciated it.
Okay, yeah, I love Self-Care Sunday. I don't really get to do it that much because, I got a kid. and he don't give a damn about no self-care, no days. If he's here, he's up my ass, and I'm surprised. You know, when I record, he usually annoys me, but I tell him, you know, yo, chill out. I need this time. But with him running around, but I do have a lot of single friends, and they practice self-care Sundays a lot. I mean, the phone is on Do Not Disturb. They got them a joint roll. They got candles lit. You know, all that. The chi
Your
is
favorite beverage.
Yes, favorite beverage, everything. And so I think that it's important, especially, I probably need to do it more often, especially, but I can't do it because this damn quarantine is Aiden's here all the time. But, you know, I need to get back to self-care days. I got my hairy ass legs. I haven't shaved my legs. I look a mess right now, but I feel great. I feel great.
Look, close up in the palatial bathroom, take a couple hours, let them go play tennis for a second, go kick that soccer ball, and get yourself reconnected with one.
Yes. Okay, another scene. Tell me another scene that you liked about this episode.
Okay, so in this episode, we also got to meet TSA Babe. We always meet TSA Babe with the cheeks. TSA Babe was putting in some type of work. We're unsure if, you know, he was really putting in work, really thrilling that.
Yeah, because her face was like, anytime you doing this, and the girl's face is like, you got a little bitty dick, first of all. Because if somebody's clapping you like that and they got a big dick, you gonna be like, hey. You know,
maybe he's not reaching his full potential because it wasn't, you know, you got to have a balanced ratio, I think. You know, when this little fluffy, you got to make it fit. I don't know.
Well, he was clapping them cheeks. Yeah, that was a fun episode. That was a fun scene. And I also like that he brought her the weed and the Hennessy at the end. Like, just thoughtful little shit like that matters to me. Like, it doesn't have to be something expensive or that costs a lot, or, you know, it's thoughtfulness, basically. Yes. Is what it is. And so shout out TSA, babe, even though he was in there he's clapping and she wasn't really into it, but he
also was top flight security at her mixer. So I mean,
the world, Craig.
Multi-purpose, you know.
Yes, when you can call on a side dick to pull up and help you in a business situation, that's a bonus. That's gonna give you more access to the buns because you are useful.
Right.
You can be used, you know?
If you're not useful, you're useless.
Okay, another scene. We got a little time. Another scene.
So another scene when Molly finds out that Andrew has other hoes. He's in the streets.
She was so molded. Why was she molded? She really thought she was so molded. I think she thought because he's Asian, like he ain't on these hoes. Like, bitch, he on you. He out here fucking black girls. He fucking everybody. Andrew look like he don't care what it is. He with the shit.
Discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah, she was so molded. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you were dating somebody and you guys hadn't really established a title of it, and then you're like trying to take it serious because that's what women do. You know, we like to only focus on one person. Have you ever been in that situation before where you was like molded?
In my youth, you know, I'm like, oh, we're booze, we're together, we're spending time together. You like me? What? Why would you want to see anybody else? I like you too. No. It doesn't always go down like that. So like you said, communication is always key. Find out what the rules are. You know, sometimes we may want the same thing, but it's important to establish those open lines of communication so everybody's comfortable. But I didn't think about it like you did at first about Molly being messed up because she just assumed he was just on her and that because he was Asian, he wouldn't be out in those streets. So I thought that was an excellent point because it also says a lot about her personality type and the things that we see coming to surface.
Yes. And I thought that she should have been appreciative. I thought that it should have brought them closer because a lot of times when you tell a guy how you feel or you ask him how he feels or if he's fucking other bitches or anything, niggas be lying, bruh. And it'll be like, no, got you all. It's all about me. You know? And then you see him out somewhere with another bitch and now y'all beefing. I think if he's honest with you up front, that leads to honesty in the future, you know, where you, even if you guys aren't going to work out, at least you're going to know what the truth is. And girls always like, oh, I want the truth. But they don't really want the truth, because when a guy's telling you the truth and now you mad, what are you mad? He did nothing wrong. You guys are not in a relationship. So what did he do wrong?
You know, I think that sometimes we as women, it's hard to date multiple people, because once we find the one that we like, we kind of gravitate towards them and we want to direct all of our time. But that's not always the best approach. And like you said, you got to appreciate honesty. What I appreciate is like, give me the option. I might be down with what you're talking about, but let me choose my reality. Don't choose it for me. So I'm with you on that. I appreciate that, even though I know the woman in me would be like, what? I'm not her.
I'm not everything to you.
Right.
Yes. So that was episode 1 of season 4. It had a whole bunch of spicy, juicy things in there.
Okay. So now that we've been through all that, episode 2 was called Low Key Distant. Miko, let me hear your thoughts. What happened? What's that?
Low key distant. Well, we're still rewound. We're 3 months in right now. I got to make sure I get my notes. I don't want to miss nothing. But we're 3 months away from I Don't Fuck With Molly No More in episode 2. And Issa is still planning her block party. First of all, the episode starts off with Molly getting her leather stretched by Asian Bae. Now I got a problem, because this entire show, everybody fucking like this. What is Issa trying to tell us?
I mean, I feel like it's reflective of where they are in these relationships. I think other than what Tiffany and Derek, nobody's married. These are pretty much like quick or short-term relationships. So they probably haven't evolved to the point where they really know each other's bodies or are trying to take their time. They're just like trying to wham, get it in, get it out, whatever.
Yeah, so she obviously got over the fact that he said that, you know, he's seeing other people because he in there stretching that hoe. And so then we cut to Issa and Condole having a conversation about, you know, them finding out that Lawrence is the comeback kid. And they're both saying, like, no, their friendship and their business ship is worth it, because even though it's awkward, they both still want to work together and they still want to have a budding friendship, which is weird to me. But, you know, I can respect it. I would not want to be friends with a bitch that is fucking my man. It's only been 1 year. No, that I still might go back to that. Those are my leftovers. You know, so. And
you're entitled to do so in those situations.
Yeah, so there's.
Yeah, it feels a little fast. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So they're, you know, faking like it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure down the line it's going to be a big deal. So then we cut to the Halloween scene where the girls are dressed up. Now, Molly is
a Clover. Shout out to Gabrielle Union. Bring it on. Hey, yo, mama. What's the cheer they did? I can't remember the cheer. I'm blanking on it.
Anyway, she's a Clover. Kelly is a Bap. She's the Halle Berry Bap. Tiffany is, of course, Cleopatra. Like, who else would she be besides a goddess? And what is Issa? Do we know what Issa was?
An Incredible? I have no idea. I don't know what.
We got to run back through that. I got to see what Issa was. But anyways, the big part of the conversation was Molly telling the girls how she's really opening up to Andrew and he ain't really giving her nothing. She's telling him she's throwing up all in this nigga lap. And he just like, that's cool, interesting, you know, and getting the pussy, you know, and she's saying how she don't like it and he's not opening up. She don't want to be wasting her time if it's not moving forward. And Issa, of course, tells her, like she always does, she always ruins relationships. You know, she's like, just, so what? Like, are you having a good time? She's like, yeah. It's like, so what? So what? He's dating other people. Like, just, you know, have a good time. And she's kind of has an issue with that. And then, so then we see TSA Bae again, and stretching Issa's leather. And
a lot of leather stretching going on.
Lots and lots.
Yeah.
And a lot of just flat back fucking. And so he asked Issa in Missionary, and this is a big guy. TSA Bae is a hefty big guy, okay? He asked Issa to reach around and put her finger in his booty hole while he
pushed the button. Push the button.
Pushed the button. And Issa reached around something I ain't never even known was possible, that you could reach around a big ass man like that and push the button. But Issa was pushing the button and he boop, boop, he came. And then, you know, once he pulls out of it, he finds out that the condom slipped off during the situation. And so Issa has to go pussy diving for the condom in the bathroom. It's a scary moment. All women have had it. And she gets the condom out. And then we move on to Molly inviting Asian bae over for dinner and telling him that the pussy is cut off. They're just going to eat and talk. And when she tries to get too deep with him, he don't want to open up. She gets mad. He gets mad. He bails on her, you know, and it looks bad or whatever. And Lawrence is out to dinner with Condole, his bae, and Condole is dropping little, oh yeah, you know, Issa told me that about you. Issa told me like that one time when you peed on yourself and blah, 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 all her tea.
You ran track. I didn't know you ran track in college. You like mayonnaise with your fries.
Yeah,
she over the little things about him.
Yeah, and so Lawrence, of course, is awkward about this and uncomfortable. So, of course, he goes to his homeboys and talks to them about it. And one of the things that I love, one of the friends said is, you don't pee in the pool that you swim in, which I thought was pretty smart and pretty interesting for him to say that. And he's basically saying you shouldn't have never even hooked up with Condole since she was at your girl's best friend's baby shower. Like, you know they gonna know each other. And, you know, like you playing a game, you know what you're doing, and that's kind of rude, but you know what I'm saying? If you already in there now, fuck it, you know? So, but his friends are giving him good advice and trying to talk to him about how to handle the situation.
What was it Derek brought up? He ran. What he said, he moves when he breaks up with the girl, disappears, witness protection program.
Yes, yes. That. And so Molly meets up with Issa and Condole is still there. They're finishing up a business meeting, and Molly's obviously salty when she sees that Condole is there because she's thinking that Condole is staying. And Issa's like, no, she's not staying or whatever. But then Issa invites her and almost like forces her to stay. So Molly's pissed off because she had some real nigga conversation she wanted to have with her. But now Condole is there. She don't want to, you know, tell her business to a stranger, especially a bitch that she don't feel like needs to be around any damn way.
Right.
But, you know, so they have this awkward little dinner, and it's supposed to be like a girls' powwow. It was weak. It was weak as fuck. And so she was a little bit mad. What else took place? They were at the end. They were walking Runyon and just kind of having a real nigga conversation again, just about dating and what's going on. And Molly's, you know, complaining about Andrew. Issa's obviously telling her, like, you tripping, like you have fun with him. And then he calls her and they kind of clear the air and apologize to each other. And it looks like they're going to, you know, move forward. But then when Issa asked her who it was, she didn't tell her. And I'm just like, damn, why didn't you want to tell the homegirl, like, oh, that was him, we going to make up?
There may be some things going on in your relationship and you share with your friends, but then you might regret, especially at that age, sharing with your friends because you're going to circle back. And it's like, you know, you're not mad anymore or you understand, but they may not. So I think she was trying to avoid negativity, forgetting that she brings a lot of that on her own and emits a lot of that from her side as well. So now that we've gone through the rewind, what were some of your favorite scenes from this episode? I mean...
well, yes, absolutely. Butt play. The butt play was one of my favorite episodes. I always ask guys. I ask my guy friends this all the time. I'd be like, yo, does it make a guy gay if he likes butt play? And the majority of them say absolutely. Even if it's a tongue, if it's a finger, he's absolutely gay. You know, and I'm just like, what if you only go to this knuckle? This one right here. If you only go to this knuckle, like, come on, that's not like, you know what I'm saying? This knuckle, get to the prostate, pop it a few times, and you come faster. Like, isn't that the goal? To nut? Is that not the goal? To nut?
I mean, it is, but apparently some are selective about how they get there. I don't know. I feel like, you know, in the context of a relationship, if people want to feel free, they have to do what works for them. And they have to feel secure in that and trusting in the other person, you know. Whatever happens is for them, you know. But you should warn somebody before you start doing all of those activities. Don't just be gregarious and just launch into that. That's not a good thing. I'm just
Don't
going
launch into butt play. Yes, ladies, don't ever do it. I remember the first time I tried to do any butt play with Brent, I really thought he was going to steal on me. And I was just like, damn, like, what happened? And he was like, why you trying to? And I was like, I was just trying to, you know what I'm saying, spice it up. And he was like, no.
No. He was like,
Don't need no pepper, no paprika, no red pepper flakes, no fucking sriracha.
all the spice I need.
You don't need none of that shit. And he was like, you done that before? And I was like, yeah. You know, he was like, ugh. Like, he looked at me like something was wrong with me.
Like, what's happening here? What's going on?
So I was like, okay, note to self, don't ever play with his booty. But I still think, I just hate that guys always want you to like, oh, kiss a girl. They want to bring a bitch home, want you to eat some pussy and all this shit. But then as soon as you want to play with their booty hole, suddenly they ain't with the shits. You know?
They get emotional about it.
Yeah, whatever, nigga, whatever. One of my other favorite scenes was Molly's jealousy scene with Condole. And I feel like, you know, this has happened to a lot of us girlfriends. First of all, you have your bestie. You know what I'm saying? And you don't, first of all, just, even though they have a group of friends, Molly knows that Issa is her best friend, just like Tiffany knows that Kelly is her best friend. So when you start seeing somebody creeping on the come up, on your friendship and just around way too much, and she fucking your homegirl's man who you know your homegirl still love that nigga, miss that nigga. He's doing great now. Like, she's just giving her all types of stank eye. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to do something like that?
Where, as far as with a friend, like,
have you ever had a friend try to kind of come into your friendship box and you got jealous or you felt away? Like, has that ever happened?
Well, I'm a like, the more the merrier type of friend. I feel that there are moments definitely within, you know, you respect the space of a friendship. If the friend isn't comfortable with, you know, certain situations, then you respect that. But I'm not opposed to friends sometimes mixing, but there are occasions where you got to keep them separate. And when maybe one starts to get too comfortable in a way that makes somebody else uncomfortable, you have to address it. I feel like, though, within friendship, if we are friends and you know, you shouldn't get jealous over me being friends with somebody, because you know what we have. But I don't know, maybe that's what guys think, and that doesn't go so well either. So I think it's just conversation, like you said. It's important to communicate. But when you're in a situation like with Molly and Issa, where their relationship is fracturing, anything could kind of set it off. So
right. So episode 2 ended pretty interesting. There's a lot happening uncovered. We didn't discuss everything. We didn't go over Molly and her work situation. There's a lot of things that haven't transpired, but as the weeks go on, we'll kind of tap into every story and everything that's going on. And for those of you watching, we would love your questions. You can email me at iheartmikogrimes@gmail.com, or you can email Jill at stilettojill@gmail.com. Any questions you want us to ask live on the podcast, you can be anonymous. We don't have to say your name, or we can say your whatever you want us to say. You could put that in the email. We'll ask questions. And so before we get out of here, we're going to answer one question that was given to us by a friend of mine. And I thought it was a great question, considering the situation of the show being season 4. We saw in season 1, she was in a relationship that she hated. Season 2, she was going through a whole phase that she hated. And season 3, she was in a relationship, got ghosted. So the question is, what do you anticipate, expect, or think is going to happen at the end of season 4? Is Molly going to be in a relationship? Is she going to revert back to her whole phase? Is she going to be alone? What is your expectation or anticipation of what happens at the end of season 4?
I think that Issa and Lawrence will reconnect in some type of way for a second. I don't know if it stays. I kind of want to see her play out this being independent and coming into herself as a woman and entering a relationship in a better mental space. But, you know, that's not real life. So we'll see what happens. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I'm hoping that her and Lawrence get back together. I'm hoping that he cheats on Condole with Issa. I'm hoping that Issa is not pregnant by TSA Bay. I'm hoping that's not how we end this. She don't do that to us, Issa. We don't need that. I'm hoping that she gets back with Lawrence and at least start fucking or something, doing something. Because Condole needs to understand that she should never even be here. She should be the one saying, I shouldn't be here. You know, Issa, she gonna say whatever. Just stick around, figure out what's up with her man, what he doing, how he progress, how he treating her. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to how he treated her when they were together. So I'm hoping that they start fucking again because I'm that type of messy. And then end up at the end of season 4 trying to figure out if they still want to be together or not. I don't know. That's what I think.
Listen, he gave Condole flowers and is taking her on a vacation to Ojai. Stop.
Yes, man. So that's the end of the episode. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Please check back with us next week. I'm Miko Grimes.
I'm Jill Munroe. Thank you for checking out the after party, y'all.
Peace.
The after party. Come after party.